What's happening, you guys? This is the Icon Fitness podcast. My name is Joel Cochran. I am going to be your host. If you are joining on the Icon Blueprint Facebook page, welcome. If you are joining on Instagram Live, welcome as well. We got all kinds of good things to talk about. It's going to be we're going to get a little uncomfortable. You might get like a little sweaty, maybe in your armpits. Get a little nervous because we're going to be talking about self-doubt. Now, if you saw my post on Instagram, I said 85% of people struggle with self-doubt. I believe that the other 15% were just lying because it's human to have self-doubt. We are human, and there's going to be times where we struggle with believing in ourselves or believing in a situation, and that is okay. We actually want self-doubt. What we don't want to do is have self-doubt become a dead end. If all of a sudden we put a dead end to our self-doubt, it will never work out. Like, now we're putting a dead end. So that's where the issue comes and arises. So let's dive into self-doubt. Let's get into self-doubt. What is it? The definition of self-doubt is lack of confidence in oneself or one's ability. The definition of self-doubt is lack of confidence in oneself and one's abilities. Am I able to get the job? Is that person going to love me? Do I have what it takes? Am I captivating enough for my husband? Do I have the respect of my wife? Do I have the respect of my peers? What it comes down to when it comes to self-doubt is, what are you afraid of? And this is a big part, because if we don't acknowledge first and foremost what we're afraid of, which creates the self-doubt, because I can tell you right now, if you're really, really good at something, you're not going to have is the self-doubt. You know that you're great at it, right? But if it's something you fear, if it's something that you're scared of, this is where self-doubt comes in, right? I don't know that I'm good enough for this. So why does it matter? Well, there's a quote that I use all the time. It's from my boy Henry Ford. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you are right. Whether you think you can or whether you think that you can't, you are right. And Henry Ford showed all the time that he thought that he could, and therefore he did. And this, it's not that he didn't doubt it. It's not that anyone who does something that has never been done before doesn't have its self-doubt, but they replace it when it comes up with the thought that they can. And this is very, very important. Self-doubt will also shape your reality. Again, if you say, I will never get that job, guess what's going to happen? You're never going to get that job. If you say, I'm just destined to be alone. Oh, well, guess what you're going to be? That's right, alone. I can never seem to be able to find my happiness. Okay, shape your reality. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're going to be right. And you're going to continue to feed that fear. There's a folklore story, right? That a young boy was asking his grandfather, and he said, "Grandfather, tell me a story." And he says, "Sit down, grandson." And he talks about the two dogs that we have inside of us. We have two dogs. We have a dog that is fear and doubt, and we have a dog that is full of strength, confidence, and wisdom. And he says, you know which dog wins inside of you? And he goes, no, grandfather, which one? It's the one that we feed. It's the one that we feed. If you feed into self-doubt, you will find a dead end. If you feed into who you are becoming, or who you want to be, guess what? You're feeding the dog, and that dog's going to win every time. Doesn't mean that other dog isn't there. Self-doubt is always going to be there. What are you going to feed? When you are doubting, what are you going to feed? And the last part of why it matters so much is you are given gifts from God to be delivered to those around you in this world. If you don't think that you don't have gifts from God, you and I need to get on a call, and I will pinpoint it for you in less than 1 minute. I will find your gift, and we will amplify it to the point that you are going to kick down your door out into the world, and you will achieve. And that is one of the biggest things that I push people to, is find what your passion is and what God has put in your heart to do. So, talking a little bit about self-doubt, right? We're either going to feed the dog of doubt, we're going to feed the dog of confidence. If we feed the dog of doubt, we'll end up at a dead end. We'll just be looking at a wall and going, yep, that's my life. I just never seem to get it right. I could never seem to find the right person. I can never end up getting the job I wanted. Never, never, never. Keep that in mind. That word itself, never. So where does self-doubt actually come from? Self-doubt comes from your words. How are you speaking to yourself? How are you speaking to yourself? We've gone over this many times in the podcast, and I will go over it as many times as I need to because it's this important. There is a process in which we take to live our best lives. And it goes like this. We first think it. So it's first the thought. Then it becomes our words. Our words become our actions. Our actions become our habits, what we do every single day. And guess what? If you do the same thing every single day, you will then create your legacy, how you're going to be remembered in this world. So going all the way back, we start our legacy with the way that we think. The thoughts going through your head right now. And we either have the opportunity to be able to amplify those thoughts, amplify our words, or we have the opportunity to de-amplify or put ourselves down. And so what we're talking about today, where most people go wrong when it comes to self-doubt, is your self-talk, and specifically what we're talking about here is soft talk. If you have a pen or paper, I want you to write it down right now. Soft talk. Soft talk is the excessive use of softening words to create ambiguity. Man, that's a tough word. Uncertainty and avoidance about a particular concept or choice. You are softening your words because you are uncertain and you would like to avoid making the choice. Have you ever been here before? I can almost guarantee you've already done it today. You had to make a tough choice. And you said something like this. Well, maybe I will get this done today if there's time. I think I probably should tell my brother, tell my friend that I'm not happy with them. Probably. Maybe. I'm gonna tell you the different types of soft talk words that we use. If you want, you can write it down. I'm gonna bring it back to you. Soft words are like, maybe, I guess, I think, probably, should, could, perhaps. So think about a really tough situation in your life, or think about something that you continue to think about of yourself. Here's an example. I should probably speak more confidently to myself. I should probably think more confidently about myself. Uncertainty and avoidance about a particular concept or choice. You're being uncertain about choosing to be confident about who you are. Okay, well, how do we make this? How do we own it? How do we get rid of self-doubt and all of a sudden feed the dog of confidence? Let's try this out. I will speak more confidently about myself. Hey, you want to amplify it a little bit more? I am confident. Ooh, let's amplify it even more. I am the most confident person that I know. And people, when I say that kind of stuff, right? Well, are you really the most confident person? I mean, that seems like a little egotistical. Check it out. Who knows you better? No one. No one knows you like you know you. So you know what? That can make you the strongest or the most confident person that you know, because you know yourself the best. And so going from, I should probably speak more confidently about myself. Ooh, that's really soft. To, I will speak more confidently about myself. To, I am confident about myself. To even a little higher, I am the most confident person that I know. And I won't allow my insecurities to stop the person that I am, because I am destined to live a life and a legacy worth living. Boom! You tell me where the self-doubt is there in that. There is none. Let's move on to another one. Maybe we're thinking about a decision we need to make in our life. I feel like I should make a change. Or, let's do this one. I feel like I should probably break up with him. Ooh, I feel like I should probably break up with him. Do you want to break up with him, or do you not want to break up with him? Coming back, what is soft talk? The uncertainty and avoidance about a particular concept or choice. Right? The sentence before, we were talking about a concept that you have with yourself. Now we're talking about a choice. Ooh, man, choices are really hard, particularly when you speak like that. I kind of feel like I should maybe, sorta, talk to my boyfriend about possibly breaking up. What? What? How about this? I feel like it's time to make a change. I will make a change. Change is happening. Do you see it? Do you see where I went there? Change is happening. I am making a change because I deserve happiness. You now are in the driver's seat. You now have fed the dog. Doubt is no longer even in your vocabulary when you speak like that. Do you get it? Are you hearing me? Hopefully some of you are shaking your head and going, oh yeah, yes, I hear you. I hear you. How about this one? Let's move on to another one. I don't know, maybe I'm making excuses. Maybe you're making excuses. Are you making excuses, or are you not making excuses? Because again, as soon as we say, I am making excuses, you've now acknowledged the conflict. So if you're making excuses, what is that you want out of it? Okay, now I can make a change because I am owning what I have. I am making excuses, but no longer will I make excuses because I am a person who is assertive and knows what they want. Again, where's the self-doubt there? There is none. I love this one. This is for all my professionals out here. I could be a little bit more professional. Or, I know that I'm a professional, but I just don't feel comfortable charging that. Okay. Well, that sounds like a lot of self-doubt, uncertainty, and avoidance about a particular concept or choice. How about this? I get paid because I am a professional. I am on time because professionals are always on time. See how we take out the soft talk, the likes, the maybes, I guess, I think, probably, should, could, maybe, sorta, I don't know. Take those out and you will amplify your self-confidence literally today, right now. So how do we do it? Well, here we go. If you haven't written it down yet, it's time to write it down. Soft Talk Challenge, 30 days of avoiding these soft words like maybe, I guess, I think, probably, should, kinda, could, perhaps. Write those down. If you have to and you're listening, you can rewind and you can write those down. Okay, Joel, so now I know these words. I shouldn't be kindas and maybes and sorta. I think that nope. I think that. Even I feels. Instead of I feel, just claim it. I feel happy. I am happy. I feel happy. I am happy. Say that to yourself and see which one is more empowering to you. So how are we going to accomplish this? First and foremost, when you talk, slow down. You don't have to talk so fast. Use your breath to slow down your speech. How do we do this? Deep breath through the nose. And exhale. You can do that while someone's talking to you to prepare what you're going to say next. And let me tell you something. You don't have to respond so quickly. Silence is okay. Everybody gets so awkward with silence. No. Let silence sit. It is your friend, not your enemy. By giving yourself space to think and then respond instead of react, you give yourself the ability to say exactly what you want. Responding is thinking about what you want to say. Reacting is allowing your emotions to speak for you. Allow your emotions to calm, take a breath, then speak. Try this out with someone, first and foremost, that you enjoy talking to. After you get better with this, then you can speak to somebody that's a little bit more difficult for you to talk to. But when you take those breaths, you can start recognizing, where am I at exactly? I am, this is, not kindas, sortas, I kinda feel, maybe I'm, okay? The next, we are constantly on our phones. You know what the best thing you can do for yourself? Reread your text before you send it. Reread it, particularly if it has any type of emotional tie to it. Type it out, reread it, then read it out loud. If it's definitely a emotional text message, which I do not suggest anyone do emotional text messages, the best place is to speak and to speak to an individual than to hide behind text messaging. Doesn't mean that you can't use it. Doesn't mean that there's times where you can send an emotional text message, but for the most part, don't hide behind it. When you have the opportunity to reread it, then you have the opportunity to catch those soft words. Wait, what is it that I'm exactly trying to say here? What is my outcome with this message? Obviously, if it's, hey, honey, pick up some milk, you don't have to think too much about it. But being able to be assertive in your speech by rereading this will help you tremendously to start recognizing that self-talk. And then lastly, if you find yourself speaking and you do end up with soft talk, which happens and is totally okay, what I want you to do is do this sentence. Excuse me, that wasn't the word I was looking for. What I meant to say was, okay, I kind of feel like, oh, you know what? That's not what I meant to say. What I meant to say is, I feel sad. That pause and reframing of that sentence also helps whoever's listening to you tune in. Now they hear you very clearly because you stopped. And then for yourself, you acknowledged exactly where you're at, and you were able to then explain it to them. So, this is what I want you to do. 30-day challenge, no soft talk. See how it changes your life in 30 days of recognizing that self-talk and encouraging others around you to not have self-talk, soft talk. You will recognize your self-confidence or your fears will start to diminish. If you really, really, really want to see how this is going to work, write down your current fears. Say your top 3 with yourself, with business or your professional life, and with your relationships. Write those 3s down. Put it away somewhere, and then do 30 days of no soft talk in your relationships, in your business, and with yourself. See how it changes your fear by the end of the month. I would be willing to bet my house that if you follow through with not doing soft talk and having more firm talk, your self-confidence will go through the roof. Those fears that you once had will either be gone or greatly diminished. Greatly diminished. So that's it. That's it for today. If you struggle with self-doubt, which we all do, which is a lack of confidence in oneself or one's abilities, you first have to recognize, what are you afraid of? What's the fear? Knowing that what we say will create our words, and our words create our actions create our habits, and our habits create our legacy. So using our words for us, not against us, feeding the correct dog will get you out of your self-doubt. This isn't rocket science here, folks. This is just recognizing the power of your words. Write down the soft talk words, which is like maybe, I guess, I think, probably, should, could, perhaps, sorta. Any type of in the middle uncertainty and avoidance about a particular concept or choice, using those words to create that avoidance. Get it out. Make the decision. Move forward boldly. Okay. You know, it's always so fun hanging out with you guys. I appreciate anybody that watched here today on the Icon Blueprint Facebook page. If you haven't joined and you're on Facebook, head over to the Icon Blueprint Facebook page to be able to join that private group. I appreciate everybody that watched on Instagram Live. If you want to dive deeper into your self-talk, this could be in your nutrition, in your fitness, in yourself, in your professional life, in your relationships, and you want to become unstuck, then this is what I want you to do. Direct message me if you're on Instagram. Shoot me a message if you're on Facebook. Shoot me an email, joel@iconfitness.com, or visit www.iconfitness.com. We will get you unstuck. There's something in your life, you don't like how it's going, you want a different result. This is the approach that we will take, and we will find the results that you are looking for, hands down, guaranteed. I have the testimonials. We go through it every single day with my clients. Guys, listen, let's break the stuckness. You don't need to stay stuck in your life, and you don't need to hold on to the stuff that has been holding you down. It is time to develop. It is time to grow, and I would love to be your guide for that. All right. That is it. Enough promotions. I appreciate everybody who tuned in today. Make sure to follow back through next week. I'm going to be hitting that podcast. If you haven't yet subscribed to the Icon Fitness Podcast, go like and share. I would appreciate it. Thank you so much for being with me today. I'll see you at the next show.